I think it's safe to say that change is on my agenda. Change for good. And I embrace that and I enjoy that change. I don't fear it.
Buckingham Palace is reeling from a wave of unprecedented rumor.
There are moments in the history of the monarchy when the greatest battles are not fought in public, not beneath flashing cameras, and not before cheering crowds gathered outside Buckingham Palace, but deep within silent corridors where a single missing document can alter the balance of power for an entire generation. What if the future of the royal family was being quietly redirected behind closed doors, while King Charles III remained completely unaware? And what if Prince William, the future king, discovered a secret so alarming that remaining silent suddenly became the most dangerous option of all? For decades, Buckingham Palace operated according to traditions so rigid that even the smallest procedural delay could trigger concern among senior officials. Every report, every constitutional briefing, and every sensitive financial document moved through carefully monitored channels before reaching the monarch. The entire system depended upon one principle above all others: trust. Yet according to whispers circulating through palace corridors, that trust was beginning to fracture in ways few people could see. At the center of this growing mystery stood an elderly royal archivist whose entire life had been devoted to protecting the institutional memory of the crown. After spending more than 4 decades handling classified royal records, the veteran official understood something many outsiders never could. The true power of the monarchy was not always found in public ceremonies or royal titles. Real influence often flowed through information, through reports, through private recommendations, and through the documents that shaped decisions before those decisions ever became public knowledge. That understanding made one discovery impossible to ignore. While reviewing routine palace files, the archivist began noticing a pattern that seemed far too deliberate to be accidental. Sensitive reports connected to Prince William and Catherine, Princess of Wales, were arriving late. Financial briefings connected to succession planning were being delayed. Important updates involving future royal responsibilities appeared to be stalled somewhere within the palace system before reaching King Charles III. At first glance, the delays appeared insignificant. After all, large institutions frequently experience administrative complications. Yet what would you think if every delayed file happened to concern the same individuals? Would coincidence still seem believable? As the weeks passed, concern evolved into suspicion. The archivist quietly tracked the movement of documents, comparing timestamps, approval marks, and internal routing procedures. What emerged was a troubling pattern suggesting that information concerning Prince William and Catherine, Princess of Wales, was encountering unusual resistance before reaching the monarch. According to the records, several files appeared to pass through advisory channels connected to Queen Camilla's office before becoming trapped in administrative limbo. The delays were subtle enough to avoid immediate detection, but consistent enough to raise serious questions. Why would documents connected to the future king repeatedly encounter obstacles, while other palace business continued normally? Inside Buckingham Palace, few individuals were willing to discuss the issue openly. Staff members avoided difficult conversations. Conversations reportedly stopped when certain names entered the room. An atmosphere of caution settled over the institution, creating the impression that people were seeing something unusual while fearing the consequences of speaking about it. The deeper the archivist investigated, the more uncomfortable the situation became. Every new document seemed to reinforce the same disturbing possibility. Critical information involving succession preparations, financial arrangements, and future royal responsibilities appeared to be moving through an invisible filter. Whether intentional or accidental remained unclear, but the effect was undeniable. Information that should have reached King Charles III quickly was instead arriving later than expected, sometimes after important opportunities for action had already passed. For the archivist, the implications were enormous. This was no longer a question of office inefficiency. The possibility existed that decisions affecting the future of the monarchy were being influenced before the king ever had the opportunity to review the full picture. And this is where the situation became truly dangerous. Making an accusation against powerful palace figures without overwhelming evidence could destroy a career instantly. Even worse, it could trigger a public scandal capable of damaging the reputation of the royal family itself. The archivist understood that one wrong move could result in dismissal, public humiliation, or complete isolation from the institution he had spent a lifetime serving. Instead of speaking publicly, the veteran official began quietly assembling evidence. Day after day, document after document, notation after notation, the archive grew. Delayed files were cataloged. Routing changes were recorded. Approval marks were examined. What began as curiosity slowly transformed into a detailed record of events that appeared increasingly difficult to dismiss as coincidence. Yet one problem remained. Even if the evidence proved convincing, who could be trusted with information capable of shaking the foundations of Buckingham Palace? Who possessed enough authority to investigate such claims while protecting both the monarchy and King Charles III from unnecessary public damage? The answer seemed obvious, yet also extraordinarily risky. That answer was Prince William. And when Prince William finally received the evidence, gathered over months of quiet observation, the future king would find himself facing a decision capable of changing not only his own future, but potentially the future of the entire royal family. Because what Prince William discovered next would transform a private concern into something far larger, forcing the Prince of Wales to consider options that few modern royals had ever imagined using. Before we continue, if you enjoy thoughtful royal analysis and stories exploring the hidden dynamics surrounding Prince William, Catherine, Princess of Wales, King Charles III, and the wider royal family, take a moment to subscribe to the channel and join our growing community. What happened after Prince William opened that file would raise even more questions than answers, and the path that followed would lead directly into one of the most controversial and secretive investigations ever connected to the future king. Prince William left the quiet reading room carrying far more than a notebook filled with dates and document references. Prince William, the future king, carried a burden that few heirs to the throne ever expect to face. If the allegations contained within those pages were accurate, the issue was no longer about delayed paperwork or internal palace disagreements. The issue was whether King Charles III was receiving a complete and unfiltered picture of matters affecting the future of the monarchy. For several days, Prince William reportedly spoke to almost no one about what had been discovered. Public appearances continued as normal. Cameras captured the familiar image of Prince William and Catherine, Princess of Wales, fulfilling royal duties with calm professionalism. To the outside world, nothing appeared unusual. Yet behind the scenes, Prince William was beginning a process that demanded extraordinary caution. Why? Because a single mistake could ignite a public conflict involving King Charles III, Queen Camilla, Buckingham Palace, and the future leadership of the royal family itself. Rather than launching accusations, Prince William allegedly chose a different approach. The Prince of Wales began reviewing older records connected to palace administration, succession planning, and internal communications. Night after night, long after official engagements had ended, Prince William quietly examined documents that most people would never know existed. The goal was simple but essential. Prince William needed proof, not suspicion. Prince William needed facts, not assumptions. The more Prince William examined, the more concerning the picture reportedly became. Several files connected to staffing changes, financial administration, and long-term succession preparations appeared to share the same pattern. Some documents had arrived unusually late. Others contained subtle wording adjustments. A few reportedly reached decision-makers only after their practical value had significantly diminished. Individually, none of these incidents appeared explosive. Collectively, however, the pattern raised questions that could no longer be ignored. And this is where the situation became even more complicated. According to the records, Queen Camilla's name did not directly appear on most of the disputed actions. Instead, attention repeatedly returned to advisors, assistants, and administrative channels associated with Queen Camilla's office. This distinction mattered enormously. If Prince William acted too quickly, critics could easily argue that the delays were the result of ordinary bureaucratic mistakes rather than coordinated interference. Would you move against a powerful institution based on assumptions alone? Or would you continue digging until every possible doubt had been removed? Prince William apparently chose the second option. As weeks passed, Prince William became increasingly convinced that a larger issue existed beneath the surface. Reports suggest that Prince William grew concerned not merely about delayed information but about the possibility that King Charles III was being insulated from developments affecting Prince William and Catherine, Princess of Wales. If accurate, such a situation could gradually influence major decisions involving the future direction of the monarchy. Standing at the center of this growing storm, Prince William faced a dilemma that was both political and deeply personal. On one side stood duty. Prince William had spent years preparing for the responsibilities that come with becoming the future king. Protecting the integrity of the crown was not optional. It was the foundation of the role Prince William would eventually inherit. On the other side stood family. Any action taken by Prince William could create tension with Queen Camilla. Any investigation could potentially distress King Charles III. Any public revelation could trigger headlines portraying Buckingham Palace as divided at a time when stability remained critically important to public confidence in the royal family. That conflict weighed heavily on Prince William's thinking. Rather than seeking publicity, Prince William reportedly pursued discretion. The Prince of Wales allegedly avoided involving large numbers of staff members, understanding that leaks could destroy the investigation before it reached a conclusion. Every conversation became carefully controlled. Every meeting became deliberate. Every new piece of evidence was evaluated through the lens of one crucial question. Could the monarchy survive another major internal crisis? As the evidence accumulated, Prince William began exploring possible solutions. Yet conventional options appeared deeply flawed. A direct confrontation risked creating an explosive family dispute. An internal complaint could disappear into bureaucratic procedures. Public exposure would almost certainly dominate headlines across Britain and beyond. Prince William needed something else. Prince William needed a solution capable of addressing the problem while protecting King Charles III, safeguarding the monarchy, and avoiding a public spectacle that could damage the institution for years to come. And that search reportedly led Prince William toward a little-known area of constitutional history that very few people had ever seriously discussed in modern times. The answer was said to be buried inside legal frameworks created generations earlier, during periods when the monarchy faced crises far more severe than ordinary palace disagreements. Hidden within those historical provisions was a mechanism designed for extraordinary circumstances, a mechanism intended to protect the crown itself when traditional solutions became impossible. The moment Prince William learned of its existence, everything changed. Because this ancient constitutional tool offered something no other option could provide. It offered a pathway that could potentially address the alleged problem quietly, legally, and without immediately dragging the royal family into a devastating public confrontation. Yet there was a catch. Activating such a mechanism would require enormous evidence, extraordinary political courage, and the support of senior royal figures willing to place institutional duty above personal relationships. Would anyone agree to stand beside Prince William? Would respected members of the royal family risk their own reputations for a course of action that could permanently alter relationships inside Buckingham Palace? And perhaps most importantly, what would happen if King Charles III eventually learned how far Prince William was willing to go in order to protect the future of the monarchy? The answers to those questions would soon emerge during a series of secret meetings that allegedly took place far from the public eye, meetings that would bring Prince William face to face with one of the most consequential decisions of Prince William's entire life. Before we continue, let us know in the comments, if you were in Prince William's position, would you prioritize family loyalty or institutional duty? Because the next stage of this story would move beyond investigation and into action, and what happened behind closed doors during those confidential meetings would push Prince William toward a point of no return. The decision facing Prince William was becoming impossible to postpone. Months of quiet investigation had transformed scattered suspicions into a pattern that, at least in Prince William's eyes, demanded action. Yet the Prince of Wales understood that evidence alone would not solve the problem. Evidence could reveal concerns. Evidence could expose weaknesses. But evidence could not repair the growing tension between duty, family loyalty, and the future stability of the monarchy. For that reason, Prince William reportedly began seeking advice far beyond the ordinary circles of palace administration. According to the narrative surrounding these events, Prince William arranged a discreet meeting with a highly respected constitutional expert whose career had been dedicated to studying the legal foundations of the crown. The meeting allegedly took place far from Buckingham Palace, away from royal advisors, media attention, and the endless speculation that often surrounds the royal family. The location itself reflected the seriousness of the moment. Prince William was no longer asking whether a problem existed. Prince William was searching for a solution, and the answer he received was not what many would have expected. As the constitutional expert reviewed the evidence gathered during Prince William's investigation, concern reportedly began to replace skepticism. Page after page revealed the same troubling theme. Information connected to succession planning, administrative decisions, and future responsibilities involving Prince William and Catherine, Princess of Wales, appeared to have encountered unusual obstacles before reaching King Charles III. Yet what happened next would alter the entire direction of the story. The constitutional expert allegedly introduced Prince William to an obscure historical provision that had survived within the legal architecture of the monarchy for generations. The provision had reportedly been designed during an era when Britain faced profound constitutional uncertainty and when protecting the institution of the crown was considered an urgent national priority. The more Prince William listened, the more significant the discovery became. This rarely discussed mechanism was not intended for ordinary disagreements. It was not designed for public relations disputes. It was not created to settle personal conflicts between members of the royal family. Instead, the provision allegedly existed as a safeguard, a final protective measure intended for situations in which the normal functioning of the monarchy appeared threatened by internal disruption. Can you imagine discovering that a centuries-old institution possessed emergency powers that most people had never even heard about? For Prince William, the implications were enormous. The constitutional expert reportedly explained that activating such a provision would require overwhelming evidence, extensive legal scrutiny, and support from other senior figures within the royal family. Nothing about the process would be simple. Every step would carry risks. Every conversation would involve consequences. Most importantly, any attempt to move forward could permanently alter relationships inside Buckingham Palace. Prince William left the meeting, carrying a heavy realization. The investigation was no longer solely about determining what had happened. The investigation had become a question of whether Prince William possessed the willingness to act if the evidence continued pointing in the same direction. That realization created a new challenge. Even if Prince William believed action was necessary, Prince William could not proceed alone. Any serious constitutional step would require support from respected senior royals whose loyalty to King Charles III was beyond question. Convincing those individuals would be extraordinarily difficult. Many would fear creating deeper divisions. Others might worry about public backlash. Some might simply refuse to become involved in such a sensitive matter. And this is where Prince William reportedly began the most delicate phase of the entire operation. Away from public engagements and media cameras, Prince William allegedly initiated a series of confidential conversations with trusted senior members of the royal family. Every discussion required caution. Every meeting required discretion. The Prince of Wales could not afford leaks. Even rumors of such discussions could trigger headlines capable of damaging both King Charles III and the monarchy itself. Reports suggest that reactions varied dramatically. Some individuals were said to be shocked by the evidence. Others reportedly questioned whether the risks of intervention outweighed the dangers of inaction. Several figures allegedly worried about the emotional impact that any future confrontation could have on King Charles III. After all, this was not merely an institutional matter. This involved family relationships stretching across years of shared history. Would you risk hurting someone you love if you genuinely believe the future of an institution depended on it? That question reportedly haunted nearly every conversation. Yet among those approached by Prince William, one figure stood out above all others. Princess, and had spent decades earning a reputation as one of the most respected and duty-driven members of the royal family. Known for discipline, loyalty, and an unwavering commitment to service, Princess and represented a voice that carried immense weight inside royal circles. If anyone could evaluate the situation through the lens of duty rather than emotion, many believed it would be Princess Anne. The meeting between Prince William and Princess Anne reportedly became a turning point. As Princess Anne reviewed the material assembled during the investigation, the atmosphere allegedly shifted from uncertainty toward resolution. Princess Anne understood the personal costs involved. Princess and understood the potential impact on King Charles III. Yet Princess, and also understood something equally important. The monarchy could not function effectively if critical information was being obstructed or manipulated. According to accounts surrounding the story, Princess and viewed the matter not as a family dispute, but as an institutional challenge. That distinction changed everything. For the first time since the investigation began, Prince William reportedly sensed that meaningful support might exist. The isolation that had followed Prince William throughout the investigation began to ease. Momentum slowly started building behind a course of action that only weeks earlier had seemed impossible. But even as support grew, the risks remained enormous. One signature would not be enough. One conversation would not be enough. One ally would not be enough. Prince William still needed additional backing, additional certainty, and additional proof before taking the next irreversible step. And as the future king continued navigating this dangerous path, another question loomed over every decision. What would happen when Queen Camilla eventually discovered what had been unfolding in complete secrecy behind palace walls? Because the closer Prince William moved toward action, the closer the entire operation moved toward exposure, and what happened next would bring the royal family to the edge of its most dramatic confrontation yet. Before we continue, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you never miss our latest royal family stories, analyses, and discussions involving Prince William, Catherine, Princess of Wales, King Charles III, and the future of the monarchy. Because in the next chapter, the secret campaign reaches its decisive moment, and one document, one signature, and one extraordinary decision will change everything. The moment Prince William secured the support he needed, the entire situation entered a new and far more dangerous phase. Until now, the Prince of Wales had been operating largely in the realm of investigation, analysis, and preparation. Evidence had been gathered, conversations had been held, concerns had been evaluated. Yet there is a profound difference between preparing for action and actually taking it. Once that line is crossed, events develop a momentum that becomes increasingly difficult to control. For Prince William, the future king, that realization weighed heavily on every decision. Reports surrounding the story suggest that several confidential meetings took place across different royal properties, each one designed to minimize attention and reduce the risk of leaks. The atmosphere surrounding those meetings was reportedly tense, not because participants doubted the seriousness of the evidence, but because everyone involved understood the magnitude of what might follow. Any action touching Queen Camilla's position would inevitably affect King Charles III. Any action involving King Charles III would inevitably affect the wider royal family. And any action affecting the royal family could ultimately influence public confidence in the monarchy itself. That chain of consequences was impossible to ignore. As discussions continued, Prince William reportedly focused on a single argument. The issue was not personal loyalty, personal rivalry, or private disagreement. The issue, according to Prince William's position, centered on protecting the integrity of decision-making within Buckingham Palace. Whether one agreed or disagreed with that conclusion, the reasoning reportedly resonated with several senior figures who believed institutional stability must remain the highest priority. Yet even among those who sympathized with Prince William's concerns, hesitation remained. Many reportedly feared that moving forward would create wounds that could never fully heal. Family disagreements can often be repaired. Public misunderstandings can eventually fade. But constitutional actions involving senior royals carry consequences that can echo for years, sometimes generations. What would you do if every available choice carried a painful cost? Would you choose inaction and risk allowing the problem to continue? Or would you act, knowing that success itself might create lasting damage? Those difficult questions reportedly dominated the final discussions. At the center of everything stood Princess Anne. According to the narrative, Princess and support became increasingly important as the process advanced. Throughout decades of public service, Princess Anne had built a reputation for prioritizing duty above personal convenience. That reputation gave Princess an unusual credibility among senior royal figures who remained uncertain about the path ahead. When Princess Anne reportedly expressed support for moving forward, the atmosphere surrounding the discussions began to change. The significance extended beyond a single signature. Princess Anne's involvement suggested that the issue was being viewed through the lens of institutional responsibility rather than personal conflict. For Prince William, that distinction was critical. The future king needed allies who believed they were defending the monarchy, not participating in a family dispute. Gradually, support continued to build. One conversation led to another. One concern was addressed by additional evidence. One hesitation gave way to cautious agreement. The process remained painstakingly slow, but momentum was moving in Prince William's direction. And then came the decisive moment. Late one evening, after months of investigation and consultation, the final documentation was reportedly assembled. Every page represented countless hours of analysis. Every supporting record had been reviewed repeatedly. Every procedural requirement had been checked and rechecked to ensure that no weakness existed within the case. Prince William understood that once the process moved forward, reversal would become extraordinarily difficult. There would be no opportunity to pretend nothing had happened. There would be no simple path back to normality. There would only be consequences. As Prince William examined the completed file, reports suggest that the Prince of Wales spent considerable time reflecting on what had brought the royal family to this point. King Charles III had spent a lifetime preparing for the throne. Queen Camilla had endured years of scrutiny and controversy. Catherine, Princess of Wales, had become one of the most trusted figures within the monarchy. And now Prince William found himself preparing to make a decision that could affect every one of those relationships. The responsibility was immense. Yet according to accounts surrounding the story, Prince William ultimately concluded that avoiding action carried greater risks than proceeding. The future king reportedly believed that leadership sometimes requires decisions that feel uncomfortable, unpopular, or deeply painful. Waiting for a perfect solution would accomplish nothing if the underlying concerns remained unresolved. And so the final stage began. The completed file moved through the necessary channels under extraordinary secrecy. Very few people knew what was happening. Even fewer understood the full implications. From the outside, Buckingham Palace continued operating normally. Public engagements proceeded as scheduled. Official photographs projected stability. Royal events unfolded according to tradition. Behind the scenes, however, something significant was approaching. The closer the process moved toward completion, the greater the risk that someone would discover what was taking place. A leak at this stage could trigger media chaos. Palace advisors could intervene. Opposition could mobilize. Months of careful preparation could collapse overnight. That possibility created a race against time. Prince William and those supporting the effort reportedly understood that success depended upon maintaining secrecy until every requirement had been fulfilled. There could be no premature celebrations. There could be no careless conversations. There could be no mistakes. And then, after months of uncertainty, the final authorization was reportedly completed. The mechanism that had existed quietly within constitutional history for generations was now ready. What happened next would unfold with extraordinary speed. A single communication would soon be delivered. A single document would soon arrive. And when that document reached its destination, the balance of power inside Buckingham Palace would change forever. Before we continue, let us know your thoughts in the comments. Do you believe Prince William was acting primarily out of duty to the monarchy? Or do you think Prince William risked crossing a line that should never be crossed within a family? Make sure to subscribe to the channel for more discussions involving Prince William, Catherine, Princess of Wales, King Charles III, Queen Camilla, and the evolving future of the royal family. Because in the final chapter, the long secret plan finally comes into the light, and the consequences will leave every major figure in this story facing a question that no royal title can easily answer. The morning that followed felt deceptively ordinary. Outside Buckingham Palace, tourists gathered near the gates, cameras flashed beneath the London sky, and the daily rhythm of royal life appeared unchanged. Nobody standing beyond those historic walls could have imagined that months of secrecy, investigation, and quiet maneuvering had finally reached their conclusion. Yet beneath the polished surface of the monarchy, a decision years in the making was about to produce consequences that none of the key figures would ever forget. According to the narrative, the formal notice was delivered with remarkable efficiency. No dramatic announcement echoed across the palace corridors. No emergency press conference summoned journalists. No public confrontation unfolded between senior members of the royal family. Instead, the process reportedly advanced through official channels with a precision that has defined royal administration for generations. That silence made the moment even more powerful. For months, Prince William had operated behind the scenes, carefully avoiding public attention while gathering evidence and securing support. Now the future king could do nothing except wait. The machinery he had set into motion was moving independently. The outcome was no longer entirely within Prince William's control. And that reality brought an unexpected feeling, relief mixed with uncertainty. After all, achieving a goal and living with its consequences are often two very different experiences. Reports surrounding the story suggest that Queen Camilla was stunned when the full implications of the decision became clear. Administrative schedules reportedly changed. Planned engagements reportedly disappeared. Responsibilities connected to public representation were allegedly reassigned. The transition occurred so smoothly that many observers within palace circles were left wondering how such a significant shift had taken place with almost no public warning. Yet what attracted Prince William's attention was not the administrative outcome. What truly mattered was the effect on King Charles III. Throughout the entire process, Prince William had justified every decision through a single principle, protecting the long-term stability of the monarchy. The future king believed that safeguarding institutional integrity was an obligation that could not be ignored. But now that the operation had succeeded, a more personal question began to emerge. Had the cost been too high? What would you do if achieving your objective created a distance between you and the people you were trying to protect? That question reportedly lingered in Prince William's mind as the days passed. On paper, the results appeared positive. Administrative systems functioned more smoothly. Information moved through established channels without interruption. Succession planning proceeded without the obstacles that had sparked concern in the first place. Catherine, Princess of Wales, assumed a more visible role in public duties, reinforcing the image of continuity that many supporters of the monarchy considered essential. From an institutional perspective, Prince William could reasonably argue that the mission had succeeded. Yet families rarely operate according to institutional logic. According to the story, King Charles III never launched a public criticism of Prince William. There were no angry statements. There were no dramatic condemnations. There was only a growing sense of emotional distance, subtle enough to avoid headlines but powerful enough to be felt. Sometimes silence speaks more loudly than conflict. For Prince William, that silence reportedly became one of the most painful consequences of the entire affair. The future king had spent a lifetime preparing to serve the crown. Prince William understood constitutional responsibility. Prince William understood duty. Prince William understood sacrifice. Yet no amount of preparation could fully eliminate the emotional weight of realizing that a decision made for the institution might have damaged a personal relationship that mattered deeply. And then another unexpected development reportedly emerged. According to the narrative, communication originating from Queen Camilla's circle eventually offered an explanation for the actions that had triggered the crisis. Rather than portraying events as an attempt to challenge the succession, the explanation allegedly described a desire to preserve influence and maintain stability during a period of uncertainty surrounding King Charles III's reign. Whether one accepts that explanation or not is another matter entirely. Some observers might view the justification as an attempt to rationalize questionable behavior after the fact. Others might see it as evidence that the conflict was never as simple as heroes versus villains. Real power struggles rarely fit into neat categories. Motivations often overlap. Good intentions sometimes produce harmful outcomes. Actions taken for protection can be interpreted as control. That ambiguity transformed the entire story. Suddenly, the central question was no longer whether Prince William had succeeded. The central question became whether success itself represented victory. Standing at the edge of his future role as king, Prince William reportedly found himself confronting a reality faced by many leaders throughout history. Leadership often requires difficult choices. Some decisions strengthen institutions while straining relationships. Other decisions protect the future while creating pain in the present. There is rarely a perfect solution. As the narrative draws to a close, Prince William remains positioned as the future king. Catherine, Princess of Wales, continues representing stability and continuity. King Charles III remains the reigning monarch. Queen Camilla remains one of the most discussed figures within the royal family. Yet despite all the constitutional arguments, strategic calculations, and institutional concerns, one question continues to linger over everything that happened. Did Prince William save the monarchy from a hidden threat? Or did Prince William, in protecting the institution, sacrifice something equally valuable within the family itself? That question has no easy answer. And perhaps that is precisely why stories like this continue to capture attention. The monarchy is not merely an institution. The monarchy is also a family. Every decision exists at the intersection of duty and emotion, responsibility and loyalty, public service and private relationships. Before we finish, we would love to hear your perspective. Do you believe Prince William acted as a decisive future king who placed the interests of the monarchy above all else? Or do you believe Prince William crossed a line that should never be crossed when family bonds are involved? Share your thoughts in the comments below, because this debate remains one of the most fascinating aspects of the entire story. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss future discussions involving Prince William, Catherine, Princess of Wales, King Charles III, Queen Camilla, Prince Harry, Meghan Markle, and the evolving future of the royal family. And if you found this story compelling, click on the next video appearing on your screen right now, because the next royal mystery may reveal even more about the hidden dynamics shaping the future of the monarchy.